Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Well, my favorite topic, and we can't get into emotional intelligence without talking about relationships. And I really want to dive deep into this one because I feel like I've seen it all and I've been through a lot. And, I've had a number of mentors along the way teaching me how to show up in a relationship where I can co-create and really step into my power and allow my partner to step into theirs. I don't have a partner right now, but when that happens, it's going to be good. So I'll give you a little bit of my background in the relationship department. I'm not going to go into too many details because I really feel like this is something that I keep private because just certain things are meant to keep sacred and some things are meant to share. So I was in a 10-year marriage, and for whatever reasons, that didn't work out. And the end of that beautiful union, because it was beautiful, was very, very difficult for me and difficult for my ex, of course. So I'm going to fast forward that story because that's the past and talk about all the things that I learned as a result of going into the shitter. Like literally deep into that fucking shitter of like broken heart and self-worth deprecation and fear and loneliness and all of the things. So yeah, emotional intelligence in relationship. And the main thing I learned is that it is so important to understand the values of your partner. Okay? So what does this mean? We all live by our highest values. That's what we do. Whatever our highest values are, that's the way we live our life. Is it our highest value to travel? We're going to do everything we can to travel. Is it our highest value to, play sports? We're going to do everything we can to play sports. So whatever our highest value is, that's what motivates us in life. Now, what happens is that two people get together and there's value alignment, and usually that's the attraction. It's not physical, it's values. Like you start to realize why are you attracted to certain people and why are you not attracted to certain people? Because when they reflect what you love in yourself, you want to connect. And that is pretty much the key to, this union because you have similar values. But there's going to be times where values don't align. And then we get into the space of conflict, potentially, which could lead to not a long-term communion. And so we could go deep into this. But I'm just going to kind of touch base on the high levels because I don't want this to be like a 5-hour video, and we could keep talking about it because I'm curious, how do you show up in your relationship? So what I feel is so important is that you actually ask your partner, what is it that you need? How can I be of service to you and make you happy? And if we're both thinking that and not thinking about what am I going to get out of this and how is this going to benefit me, and they're not thinking about me. No, it's loving yourself enough so much that you don't need them to give you anything. I don't need anything. Just show up. Show up. We're together. Let's show up in love. But aside from that, I don't need anything. You don't need anything. You give it to yourself. So when they meet you, they're meeting you at a place where you're already full, which is amazing. So you can go off on your own and do your own things, and they can do their own things, and you can support each other and not feel like anxiety or worried or jealous or any of those emotions that are not real, that come from fear and self-loathing and, not valuing who you are. But when values don't align sometimes, we have to understand that this is not somebody saying, I don't respect you or I don't love you. It's like, hey, what about my values? So coming together from that perspective is really interesting, because you just sit down, and if you're having a conflict, it's like, okay, what are your values in this situation? And how can I be of service to that without compromising my beliefs, and vice versa? And see what the magic comes out of that. There's another thing I want to talk about. This whole idea of forever. Ugh. It's so interesting to me how people get into this mind frame of like, oh, we're going to be together forever, forever, forever. And it's like, doesn't mean I don't believe in marriage. But I don't think that you need to sign a piece of paper and give it to the government to declare your love to somebody and make it official. I'm a little skeptical on the whole marriage thing, to be honest. Been there, done that. Never say never. But what I do believe is that a couple can live till they're 80 and be together and happily be together. And I believe that. I'm solo partner person. I don't even know the words leaving my head right now. It's okay. Monogamous. Thank you. I am a monogamous person, and I used to think that I might not be, and that was maybe the reason that the marriage didn't work out. But I realized that for me, monogamy was for myself. And the second that I fell in love with who I am, I didn't need multiple people validating my worth. So I don't feel that desire to start looking for validation from so many people. So now I see partnership as co-creation and communion, which is way more meaningful to me. So I definitely believe in long-term relationships and showing up in partnership, for sure. Not for everybody, and I totally can understand that too. But here's my thing. When it comes to marriage, I believe when it comes to union or long-term commitment, it is a choice every day that you're making to stay with this person. It is a choice when you're fighting or arguing with this person to say, hey, I love you enough not to put you down. I love you enough not to get into a dark, twisty place. I love you enough to see things from your perspective, because I want this to work, because I choose this relationship today over my ego. And it's a choice every day. And that's, in my opinion, how you make things work. Not this disillusionment that, oh, it's forever, so whatever, I'll just be complacent and do whatever I want. Every day you choose. Every day you should think about your partner and discover how you can make them happy and joyful and blissful. And not necessarily make them, but impact, because I don't believe we can make each other happy. But I do believe that we can enhance each other's life. So I'll rephrase that. Every day, think about, how can I enhance my partner's life today? What would bring them a smile to their face? What would allow them to feel appreciated? Just because we feel it in ourselves doesn't mean it's not nice to get it from somebody else, right? Right. Anyways, so we're in 8 minutes. I don't know how long you guys watch this thing, but I'm going to cut it off right now. We'll continue talking about emotional intelligence in relationships, because I'm super excited about my future and my sanity around that. I learned a lot. It's pretty awesome. I love you guys. And look forward to talking about it. Comment below. Let's talk about relationships. Let's talk about sex. Let's talk about everything. Have an awesome day.